Hi everybody, and welcome back once again to the channel. I didn't think I'd have to make a part 2 to, well, my unscheduled gaming rant, because I made my feelings quite clear, to be honest, in that specific video. I think the death of discs is an awful thing, and yeah, I still think we need to stop it, but ultimately it's up to us, the people, to do that. But that's not what I'm here to talk about today. Well, not really anyway. Yeah, I just want to say one thing. This industry sucks, okay? At the moment, you have the death of physical media. You have Xbox laying off 32,000 people, closing studios. Oh, and did I mention that on the Sony side, Bungie is being obliterated. So for those of you holding out hope for Destiny 3, I would not hold your breath at this point. But it would seem there is a ray of hope. Something I was not expecting. But this morning, when I was eating my breakfast and scrolling through my phone, I was on the Pure Xbox website, where I came across something interesting. And I don't mean a piece of junk, I mean something genuinely interesting. I know Xbox is rubbish these days, but yeah. They were great once. When you think back to 2001, the OG Xbox launched. And what would that do, people? It would go on to beat the Nintendo GameCube. Fast forward to 2005, release of the Xbox 360. Possibly the greatest console of all time. Possibly. If, you know, I think it's kind of tied with the PS2. Anyway, yeah, Xbox 360. You fast forward to then, to the year 2010. Oh my god, it beat the PS3, guys. I mean, come on. In terms of games, support, it beat the PS3. I love PS3. My favorite console of all time, but the 360 beat the PS3. But then we again fast forward to 2012. And we come across this man.
Huh?
The man who potentially killed Xbox. But then if you fast forward just a few more years, we come across this chap. Phil Spencer. The man who perhaps truly killed Xbox. And who would go on to set something terrible in motion. This. Halo on PS5. People will not forgive or forget that, Phil Spencer. But I believe they won't forget that or forgive it, because I certainly won't. Anyway, moving on to the subject. I was on the Xbox website. It would seem there is hope for Xbox. It certainly does not lie in the Xbox Series X and S, sadly, but it does not. But it may lie in their next console, Project Helix. Let me explain. Here we have the website page for PureXbox.com, a decent enough website. And it says here, one of their main headlines, rumor, Xbox still evaluating whether Project Helix will support physical discs. It reportedly hasn't been finalized yet. Now, my thoughts on this? No, of course it has not been fully finalized yet, because Xbox has seen the mistake PlayStation is making on the commitment to murder physical media. And honestly, good. I'm glad they're watching, because God, guys, I still think this is a terrible thing. I'm not gonna change my mind. The death of physical media is terrible. Xbox was watching, and I like their corporate jargon here. It hasn't been fully finalized. And let me translate that for you. That most likely means, okay, we've seen what's been happening with PlayStation, we don't really want that to happen to us, and for good reason. Xbox if by any chance you are listening to me, you're third, okay? In the console space, you are third. And you have been third for 15 years. If you actually want to sell consoles again, give us our exclusives back, for one thing. Take Halo back, for one thing. Keep Forza for another thing. Oh, and finally, you could do worse than make sure Project Helix has a disk drive. Now, if we scroll further down here, now if we, hang on. Yes, well, if we scroll further down, it says here, there's obviously been a lot of talk over the past few days about Sony's decision to cease physical discs for the PlayStation consoles as of 2028. And some people have been urging Xbox not to make the same mistake in the process. See? People are using this word, people. Mistake. This is a terrible thing that PlayStation are doing, and they will be regretting it when everybody flees from their platform to go to PC. There's been a belief for a while now that Xbox's next console, known as Project Helix, won't include a disc drive out of the box. But apparently that still hasn't been fully finalised yet, at least according to a report from The Verge last week. I understand Microsoft hasn't fully finalised whether the next generation Xbox, codenamed Project Helix, will ship with a built-in disc drive. This was particularly an interesting mention from The Verge, as others have been reporting that Helix almost certainly would ship without a disc drive. Windows Central Jess Corden, one of those people, for example, who took to the Xbox 2 podcast, recently suggests that Microsoft appears to be re-evaluating how to handle the situation around physical discs, although he's still of the belief that a built-in disk drive is unlikely for Project Helix. Now, take note of this. They are re-evaluating. Now, in business, when they re-evaluate something, it is because they know if they go ahead with a strategy that is being attempted by another company, and that company is already receiving significant backlash, they know, yeah, you know what, this is going to fail. Do not bother with this, okay, bro? Just don't. I believe, for myself, that it is possible that while the next Xbox will be all digital, it will, however, support an external disk drive attachment. Because, honestly, guys, Xbox need to step up their game if they're even going to survive as a company at this point. Microsoft mocked them. Oh no, sorry, Sony mocked them. I would like to apologise, guys. I've only woke up about half an hour ago. Yes. Sony mocked them in 2013 for their all-digital strategy that flopped, with the infamous "How to share your games on PS4" video. Put the nail in the coffin for Xbox One before it even began. But now, the shoe could be on the other foot, where Xbox does the other thing. They continue to support physical media and win back fans, where PlayStation, on the other hand, goes all digital and loses their fans to PC. But that's just my opinion of what could possibly happen, but you've got to admit, guys, it's a very real possibility. Now, let's continue. Warren put in an article on The Verge that nothing has been decided for Helix yet. But things had been decided for Helix previously. However, Tom had more up-to-date information that Microsoft is now seeing what might be possible about Helix with regard to discs. I went and tried to update my information, and it does seem like indeed they are trying to figure out what they can do here before they could commit to the death of discs. Again, as mentioned, Corden doesn't think a disk drive will ship as standard in Project Helix. Perhaps a separate add-on could be available for the console that would read discs instead. You know what, guys? As long as you give us an option to attach one, I, I, I think people will just be happy. People will accept that. They'll buy their fancy Xbox Project Helix with Steam support and play all their games. If they want to go back and play their old stuff, like the delisted things, such as Minecraft Xbox One Edition, that you cannot find on the Microsoft Store, yeah, people will go with that external disk drive if they can play their delisted games on it. Whereas PlayStation, on the other hand, might be in the shit. Very likely. Because at this point, unless they address this or backtrack on this, they're going to lose, I'm going to say about 75% of their players to PC. I have talked to several of my friends and they have said that they will probably leave PlayStation to go to PC if, discs really are scrapped for good. And I cannot blame them. Because I was seriously considering switching to Steam Deck. Now, I may get a Steam Deck in the future. Now, you guys who've watched previously may go, huh? But Josh, you just said the importance of physical media. Yes, I did. And I'm aware a Steam Deck is all digital device. However, unlike consoles, it is not limited to one storefront. There's more than one way to play your games on Steam Deck. There's more than one way to get your games on Steam Deck. Even if the Steam store closed, you could probably still find a way, through whether that be through emulation or other, perhaps grey area legal means. Because Steam Deck, as I said, not limited to one storefront. There's many ways to play your games on it because this is a PC at the end of the day. Consoles, that applies differently. Consoles just stick with discs because they only have one storefront. And when that closes, you're going to have a useless piece of junk. E-waste with no disk drive. I think this could be a good thing for Xbox if they go in this direction, even if it's only an external disk drive. What do you guys think? Please let me know in the comments, and thank you very much for tuning in to this video. Peace guys, see you in the next one.